So, this is to Mr. and Mrs. Presley, February 25 of, should we go 3 years? You want to go 5? Let's go 5.
5 years.
And then we can scale it back.
Okay.
So, to Mr. and Mrs. Presley, in February 25, 2029, 5 years from now.
5 years.
This is a time machine. You're gonna open this 5 years from now. It's gonna upload on YouTube. Hopefully I'm not, that's a lie. I'll probably still be doing this. Hopefully not as much. Yeah, I've convinced myself it's part of thinking.
It's part of you already.
This is 15 years. Anyways, so I'll say for 5 years from now, tonight, you just got off working a 36-hour overtime shift. 5 years from now, you'll be financially free of that job. You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna whether it's off the YouTube, the TikToks, or the music alone, you're gonna have it figured out. And we're working towards that. This is what we're doing today. We're setting it up, scheduling out life. Because if we don't schedule out our lives, all those things that we want to do in the future never fucking happen. Everybody plans, hey, we should go do this one day. There's no one day. We're making those days. We're planning it. So it's never a one day. I don't want our lives to ever be spoken in a one day. That's important to me. Because one day it'll be all over. And hopefully all those one days were some days. So 5 years from now, you're not working for the fire department. You've completely devoted yourself to your art. You've mastered it. Your craft, your public speaking, even if it's just through screens. You made enough. You're making at least 100K, which allows you to replace the job that you're doing now. I'm working almost as many overtime hours as I am regular hours to fix the fuck ups of the past. Spending money, overspending, trying to live the life that I can't afford, looking like I can afford a life that I didn't work hard enough for. That's not, this is the 5 years that we're gonna work hard and actually earn that. No more fake rich. Now, when it comes to the art, if I want the art to look a certain way, then fine. If RX Presley, the artist, is going to look a certain way for an album rollout, fine. But year round, RX Presley right now is not that rich. So year round, he's not gonna look like that. Maybe when it comes to the conception of an album, maybe a few videos around that. Everything else, you're real from now. 2024, February 25. You have a growing community. Maybe you've transformed your YouTube channel into a Discord or some new form of social media that allows you direct interaction. Telegram, you've at the very least started monetizing your YouTube. You've at the very least put out 2 albums, full cinematic pieces of work. Actually, no, 2, and you should be at least on a third one. So you have Lost Boy Presley, you got Real One, 2 Real, and you better have that third one done or be working on that rollout. Maybe you're taking longer because you actually got a record deal. That's the goal. So you're gonna live your life in some seasons. You're gonna live like a farmer. You're gonna plant seeds, promote, grow the ones that you want. You're gonna harvest them, enjoy the fruit, and you're going to take the time to, winter's gonna come, chill out, create new, replant, farm again, and every year your crop is gonna grow. How about you? 5 years. What do you look like, Belle? Are you
Hi,
still Belle?
Belle. 5 years from now, you're not gonna be longer for. You're not gonna be longer working for somebody. You're gonna be your. You're gonna be your own boss. You always wanted to be, you know, that person, and you know that you're gonna make it. And 5 years from
What
now,
make it look like?
make it like in terms of like business entrepreneur, or like, you know, just like, you love social media, you love doing the things that you see, like, being bougie. And 5 years from now, you're gonna be real, real bougie. Like, you can afford anything that you want and anything that you like.
In 5 years? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so. And,
Doing what you want.
you know, I've always believed in you. You've been through so much, and
You have more.
you gotta, you know, that you have a lot more to offer. And, you know, anything is possible, but you need, you need to embrace more of you. You need to.
Are you talking to you now or are you talking to you in 5 years?
5 years.
In 5 years
Oh,
you need to embrace, or right now you need
you,
to?
you need to keep embracing you. Don't forget who you are and where you come from. And, you know, in 5 years, I believe that you're going to be where you want to be. You're going to be financially stable, and you can like, travel where you want to. Like, you always love traveling. And, you're going to be someone in social media, like, just being bougie, and you're going to
What,
have a
you got
name.
sponsorships?
Huh?
You got sponsorships?
Like, sponsored, or, just like creating your own,
Creating your own.
like, brand and like business. And, you know, you're gonna figure out what you really want in life, nothing's gonna be a blur. And yeah, I feel like you're gonna be in a position where you're actually really happy. And, most importantly, is like
What what
you're
makes Belle happy 5 years from now?
5
That
years
Belle
from
right
now.
now doesn't have.
I think just having to, or like, not like financially free, you know, not having like financially freedom, and not
How much money did you make 5 years from now? Like what's your number for financial freedom?
financial freedom. Like for me is just being able to.
There's a number though, right? You said you want to go where you want to,
Mm-hmm.
but it pays whatever bills you have at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So what is that number? If you're free of the job,
Uh-huh.
right? That job pays you 40 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fulan pays you 40.
I would say 150,
You're gonna be
200,
making one
150,
in
200K.
2029.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be a big goal to set up how we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get there.
I'm gonna
We're
make
gonna
it.
set it up. You have to plan it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make that much money?
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm going to be, you know, I know the love I have for like, just being entrepreneur. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have it in me since then. I've always figured it out, and I'm gonna figure it out, you know, either, when it comes to business or just, being a social media influencer. But
How does an influencer make money?
hmm, influencer make money just by, having, you know, just
We make it easy. $200,000 means you make $500 a day 5 years from now.
mm,
Can you see yourself finding a way to make $500 a day?
okay, maybe 100.
$300 a day.
Maybe 100.
It's not bad to shoot
Although,
big, but we will go through
yeah.
the ladder we have to climb. We're gonna look at a ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna shoot for that direction. If other opportunities pop up, and after considering it, right, it seems like it'll move us up,
Mm-hmm.
then we take that, right?
Yeah.
Or does it teach you something that allows you to make more money? If we learn this, right, it's
Right.
either up or it branches out, but
Branches
never
out.
a step back, right? I mean, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
fall back at times
Yeah.
because we're gonna think that this gives us this, and it doesn't.
And
Instead, it
doesn't.
gives us this, which is lower, right?
Mm-hmm.
But okay, instead of using the term this, like what are your possible paths? Have you ever looked into how does an influencer make money?
Just like, views and stuff, like how I'm making my content right now. And, you know, I know it's not something yet, but I feel like just,
Just say it. This. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
say
but
what you're doing.
I feel like,
This is you're starting
I'm
today,
making,
and when you look at this 5 years from now,
uh-huh,
you're either gonna love it or hate it.
I'm gonna,
So
like making contents right now that I truly, I pretty much do every day in my life that I love, like my hobbies, and I'm just going to make it real as much as possible without, you know, not just trying to fake it. And I feel like if I'm gonna do that way, like people like realness, right? So I feel like I'm
Doesn't matter
gonna,
what people like.
you know,
You
I
have to
feel
be
like I'm
authentic.
going to be, I'm gonna connect to a lot of people if I start being me.
Yes.
Hmm.
There's
And
a lot of people who are searching their way through life the
hmm,
same way that we are.
yeah.
If we document it, we align ourselves with people who might be doing the same thing, right?
Hmm.
Whether they decide to comment or reach out or they follow just to watch and compare their lives,
Hmm.
that's
It's something.
that's it,
Yeah.
you know. But whatever it is, when you start to inspire yourself,
Hmm.
you're gonna inspire others.
Other people, right?
And I think that's the biggest thing is not just for us to inspire each other, but
Hmm.
for you to be inspired by you,
Hmm.
me to be inspired by me. Instead of having such high expectations, take a step back sometimes and be like, motherfucker, you taught yourself how to make music, you taught yourself how to make a beat. You didn't know shit about music or instruments. You
Nothing.
learned how to record your voice. You built your own home studio. You can record a song anytime you want to,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's way more than I ever thought.
You have to
But
step
I
back.
still see myself as like,
Hmm. But of course, just like expectation for yourself, right? Like we don't realize the things where we was to where we are right now. You know, although it's not where we want to be. You
yeah,
know, progress is progress. Like to me, I think that's like important. Like you can't just
I think being
you can't
consistent,
just change your life in a day. You know what I mean?
you know,
It does have to go to a process, and I think like you know like for a lot of people, like for us, right, we just feel like sometimes you know we're not going anywhere. Like for me, like I feel like I'm not going anywhere. I feel like I'm like stuck, you know but if to think of it, like I did this and I
come
did
pretty
that,
far.
and it's like I actually like I'm way I'm s- way steps ahead for what I was, or for who I was, like
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. But you
And
don't want to go years to make small progress, right? Because
mhm,
then pretty soon, if it's 5 years to learn how to be me, 5 years to
mhm,
like start doing what I want to do, 5 years, and it's like, fuck, life
it's
is
just
over,
it's over,
you
yeah.
know? So,
But I feel like just truly finding yourself and just truly embracing yourself and loving yourself, you can do everything. You
includes
can,
loving all the things you don't
yeah.
like about yourself.
And it's like
Because you know that
embracing,
you're gonna get
yeah.
better at those things.
And just like embracing who you are, your imperfections, and that's the start. It's just a matter of you, you know, when are you gonna act to get to where you are? Or,
And the biggest issue I think we both had was that we felt like in order to be an influencer, we needed to buy the expensive things. We needed to buy the dumb shit. We needed
mm-hmm.
to splurge on a trip.
Splurge.
I think it's cool to give us a taste of what life we could live if we made more money and
Uh-huh.
could afford that, but we
Right.
could not afford the life we were living.
Mm-hmm.
Just the reckless spending. Um, especially on me.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, because you end up paying for it later if you can't afford it now, right?
You're right.
And that's what's happening right now.
Mhm.
You're paying off your debt, man. You done fucked up for about 4 years. You had the opportunity, but
Hey,
you're
you're
set
doing.
back.
You're
So the next
making progress.
the next 6 months till summer, you ain't doing shit but work. That's your main focus. You're gonna make daily videos.
Mhm.
You're gonna You love to fucking talk. You love watching yourself talk. You love seeing yourself think. You're gonna make that content to inspire you from the past, to save the old versions of you,
Mhm.
and start living for the future version of you, which is you.
Yeah.
I'm dedicating my life to you 5 years from now, RX. And, I love to talk my shit and say real shit and whatever, but this is like, it's going to be scheduled now. You've tried it all, right? You learn how to do everything. Now you just have to do one thing at a time and build and grow, and we're gonna document it all.
Yeah.
So there's something to look back at. The creator and the creation as of
Creator.
right now.
Like
Who knows
that.
what it's gonna look like?
Mhm.
And for us, I 5 years from now, we're definitely financially free.
Mhm.
I really, you better, both of you motherfuckers better be making at least 100K.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you have to do or buy in the next 5 years that's more important than investing
Mhm.
in yourself for the future. Any profit I start to make off music or anything will go right back into the music to double, to triple, because that is a business and a lifestyle that pays more when you invest more time and money into, if you know
Mhm.
what you're doing. I might fuck up the next album release, but you in 5 years, you got this shit wired. So
Got it.
I'm making the mistakes for you, future self. I've made tons already, but I've learned to live with way less, and I realize I don't need that much. All I need is to create, and that's what actually makes me happy.
Mhm.
And the more time I have to create, freedom to create, that's where I find happiness. So
Mhm.
that's all I want for you, is I'm working to allow you to create your life full time, not fucking worrying about how am I paying these bills. You're not fucking working 5,000 hours of a year in the fire department. Fuck that.
Mhm.
In 1 year, we make enough to collect retirement. That's fucking fine.
Yeah.
Half the medical is fucking fine. I don't need nothing else from them. The worst thing is, they always say you're like if you want to know who you are, think of the 5 people you associate yourself with the most.
Mhm.
I would say 3 of the people that I associate with the most are the firefighters, and they do not have the lives I want,
Mhm.
right? There's Nicholas, you, and the other 3 are firefighters. Doesn't matter which firefighters. They're just people that don't have lives I want. So find a different person to let into your circle to to motivate you. Uh, right now, I think I'm going to make at least a third person a constant book somebody who has the motivation to live a good life. Right now, you're listening to uh, Be Your Future Self, that book, right now. So every day I'm waking up listening to that because I want that to be the first person I have a conversation with, because I want to be like that guy. And I would maintain my relationship with Nicholas even after we move out. Me and Belle are only gonna grow too, as I grow, as she grows, as we have these conversations at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's very key. Um, and to just document all of it. If we got the time to sit down and have these conversations, I want to leave that for other people to see,
Yeah.
But